Hey y'all, I'm Mary Small with Detention Watch Network and the Defund Hate Campaign. We're here today to talk to you about two things. The first of which you've probably already heard about, which is a shakeup at the Department of Homeland Security. Former Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is out, a bunch of other folks have either resigned or been fired as well, and there's a massive leadership vacuum at the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE and Customs and Border Protection, the two agencies in charge of immigration enforcement. We want to tell you what this means though, which is essentially a consolidation of power over immigration enforcement at the White House, and most notably under white nationalist Stephen Miller, who's a presidential advisor. That's dangerous. And whatever leadership is installed at DHS following this will be more harsh, more cruel, and less accountable than the leadership that just left. This is important for the Defund Hate campaign because, as always, the funding available to ICE and CBP is what puts hateful policies into action. And right now, Congress is facing a choice point. When it comes to federal funding, there's essentially two buckets: defense and non-defense. And folks who have been allies for immigrants, who are supportive of immigrant rights, are also generally advocating for more funding in the non-defense bucket for things like housing and healthcare and education and green infrastructure, things that help whole communities thrive together. But our problem is that the Department of Homeland Security, ICE and CBP, are also in the non-defense bucket. And often what happens is that all of those different accounts get plussed up together. They're all treated the same. But we know that that's not right. We know that DHS, with ICE and CBP inside of it, need to be treated differently than the other accounts that, again, are so good for rich and vibrant communities all across the country. So what we need is for folks to weigh in with the chairwoman of the Appropriations Committee, Nita Lowey from New York, asking her to not make this decision on autopilot. Don't do what we always do and plus up all the accounts together. Yes, increase funding again for education, healthcare, and housing, those things that are so important for all of our communities, but do it while you're decreasing funding for DHS to take into account decreases in funding for CBP and ICE as well. Check out the call-in script to make the call today. Thanks.